Happy New Year, everyone. You know, 2017 has felt more futuristic than I would have imagined, because it feels like someone invented a time machine that took us back to 1917, when women couldn't vote and lead did a body good. Newsbroke tries to make light of all this, but lives are at stake, and if yours isn't, it's because you're either a billionaire or a bot. In which case, how many squares have me in them? That's what I thought. Things move so fast, it's hard to know how to resist or where and when to plug in, but there are tons of amazing organizations working hard that would love you as much as your family does, minus the arguments every single holiday season. Also, midterms are in November and Game of Thrones isn't coming back till 2019, so you really have no excuse. In the new year, we should all just have one resolution: take the streets. Here are 5 of 5,000 reasons why. This Christmas, the FCC bought us the present of patience, because we're all going to be waiting a long time for pages to load now that net neutrality has been repealed.
How long have I been waiting to load? Koala drinks boba tea?
Without net neutrality, telecom companies can create and sell tiers of internet speed, pricing out small websites like one selling homemade upholstery, fermented beets, or this weird salmon of Capistrano website. Yes, that is a MIDI rendition of Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, and it's amazing. Also, broadband carriers could block certain content, like when AT&T made Apple block Skype, or when Verizon blocked Google Wallet because they had a competing service called ISIS. Right, because competition was the problem. Choice of name? Totally fine. But FCC Chair Ajit Pai says not to worry about the corporate takeover of the internet in this glib video that manages to try to be millennial by mocking millennials.
You can still binge watch your favorite shows. You can still post photos of cute animals, like puppies. You can still gram your food.
Yeah, I can still take pictures of my food. It's just the uploading part that's going to take Neckbeards, slather on the sunscreen and nuke a couple extra Hot Pockets. We're going outside. You may troll me, but let's meet eye to eye around your right to live online and never meet eye to eye with anyone ever again. The internet was created thanks to taxpayer dollars, so they're gonna have to pry it from our greasy, nubby, sticky fingers. Russiagate. Trump's collusion with Putin is the biggest scandal of our generation. Here's what has happened just this month.
National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pleading guilty to lying to the FBI about meetings with Russian officials.
There's new information about some text messages allegedly sent by former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Now, the whistleblower claims Flynn suggested that U.S. sanctions on Russia would be ripped up.
We have now pierced into the inner circle of Donald Trump's advisor, including his son-in-law. It doesn't get any closer than that to the president.
Yeah, the only way this investigation gets closer to Trump is when Mueller indicts Trump's spray tan. I have no connection with my spray tan. My spray tan acted of its own accord, and I was right to fire my spray tan. It seems like every week we discover new financial ties between Russia and the Trump cohort, or someone in the administration that Russia hit up for access. And then there's the president's conspicuous attempt to cover up all of the above, and Don Trump Jr.'s approach, which is to come forward with evidence and then hope no one asks further questions. Which is exactly how a guilty rich white man acts with cops. Listen, officer, I understand. I just have weed, okay? What you see is what I have. A little sticky icky, Mary Jane, all that. It helps me relax once in a while. If you go in the other room, I might have a little coke, but that is it. And if the special prosecution meant to get to the bottom of it all is fired by Trump, which might happen, we need to get off our asses. I'm panicking because I can't think of a concise protest chant. 2, 4, 6, 8, let's recap this Russia gate. First it started with Sally Yates, then a guy named George Papadopoulos. He offered connections in the New York metropolis. Then there's Kushner, Kremlin, Pushner. And yet some still naysay the Russia investigation, in part because they don't like the FBI and the mainstream media. Believe me, I don't like them either, but don't kill the messenger before you've even heard the message. Listen, I hate Justin Bieber, but Despacito is objectively a hit. Quiero respirar en tu cuello despacito. We can't so what our way out of this. Russia has a campaign against American democracy, and we don't need another. We already have gerrymandering and voter suppression and a winner-take-all two-party system. We've got a lot of anti-democratic campaigns already. Another reason to rage? If Get Out does not win the Oscar for Best Picture. Not only was Get Out an intensely original psychological thriller, it was a commentary on the dangers of liberal racism and body snatching. So either give Get Out the Best Picture Oscar, or I will drag all of Hollywood down to the sunken place. Tell me when you've nominated the Best Pictures. Tell me when Get Out wins. Tell me when you've rebuilt Hollywood from the ground up with only women directors and writers and producers, and you pay them fairly. Big reason to rage? Protecting undocumented immigrants. They, along with special status immigrants and dreamers, have all been treated like criminals by the Trump administration. Many have been systematically hunted by ICE.
Rosa Maria Fernandez was being rushed to a hospital in Corpus Christi, Texas. The ambulance, though, hit an immigration checkpoint. The agent stood outside her hospital room the entire time, and then they took her into U.S. Customs and Border Protection custody as soon as she was cleared from that surgery.
A Connecticut mother seeking refuge in a church to avoid deportation.
I pay taxes since 1993, and I'm not a criminal.
Nearly 60,000 Haitians living in the U.S. must return to Haiti within 18 months or face deportation.
We have nothing left in Haiti, and I'm a registered nurse. I'm working very hard. I have a family to take care, and I've been here for 18 years.
That must be what American greatness feels like. Daggers in my heart. These immigrants are workers and students and even actors like Bambajan Bamba, who appears in the forthcoming Black Panther film and revealed this year that he too is a DACA recipient. And for a moment, it did look like Democrats would step up and help the Dreamers. But despite activist pressure, stopping mass deportations didn't make their resistance agenda for 2017. In fact, the only thing that seems like they're resisting is winning elections. It's kind of like they're allergic to it, really. Listen, Trump, taking away DACA was super unpopular with both parties. If you actually wanted to solve immigration and not just pander to your shield-wielding racist base, you'd mobilize Congress to enact immigration reform, not just take away Edgar's opportunity to become a dentist, because he could hook you up with some better denture glue.
God bless the United States.
You're so gross. A big reason to take the streets in 2018? The right for women to decide if and when they become mothers. For a man who it isn't a stretch to assume forced a mistress or two to get an abortion, Trump and his administration have been all about stripping abortion rights.
President Trump has reinstated the controversial global gag rule, which women's rights advocates fear will increase unsafe abortions around the world.
President Trump signed legislation today aimed at cutting off federal funding to Planned Parenthood and other organizations that perform abortion.
Trump has also pledged a litmus test on abortion for his judges.
Also, he's making contraception harder to come by, which makes zero sense. How can you be against abortion and things that prevent the need for abortions? That's like outlawing standing within 2 feet of a urinal and mops. We all lose. But it goes beyond the federal government. The scariest and most consequential attacks on reproductive rights next year will, like always, happen at a state level. Kentucky, you might lose your last abortion clinic. Missouri, there's a fight brewing in your state over a law that stipulates waiting periods for abortions. And in California, pro-lifers are collecting signatures for a measure that would make abortion first-degree murder. Okay, let me get this straight. So, terminating a fetus the size of a grain of rice is first-degree murder, but shooting Philando Castile point blank isn't? Okay, I get it. I don't get it. So in 2018, stay laser focused on your state legislatures. Many of them will go into session in January, and out-of-touch pro-lifers will try to gut abortion rights at all costs. Shut it down. In conclusion, 2018 needs a lot fewer hot takes on Twitter and a lot more real work. And it doesn't all have to be angry or depressing. It should be fun, like more fun than tiki torches and manifestos and hate, which is pretty easy. We'll see you in the motherfucking streets. Hey, thanks again for watching Newsbroke. I'm Francesca Fiorentini. Follow me on Twitter at FrannyFio and follow Newsbroke and AJ Plus on Facebook and YouTube. And tell us what you're gonna get involved in, if anything, in 2018 or what you're already doing. You probably didn't even make it through this video. Just after number 1, you went outside, you started marching, right? No one's watching this right now. No one. We've all left our homes.